Yeah. Read that.
Deuteronomy chapter 33, verse 21. And he provided the first part for himself, because there, in a portion of the lawgiver...
Stop. So it says he provided the first part for himself. If he went to Africa, how could that be the first part? There's people dwelling all over Africa.
Yeah.
I mean, brothers got to think. Even in Europe, it was already taken. So the first part that Gad took was a place that was uninhabited by people. But you say you got...
I was going to say... You said there were people already dwelling in Africa?
Yeah.
I was just going to say that didn't and don't wear fringes.
Right.
These so-called Native American Indians had on fringes over here.
That's right. They had fringes on.
And they had to get that from somewhere.
Yeah, nobody else in this land didn't walk around with no fringes on. Right. They all had fringes. That's another key. All right. Read on out, verse 21.
Verse 21. And he provided the first part for himself, because there, in a portion of the lawgiver, was he seated. And he came with the heads of the people. He executed the justice of the Lord and his judgments with Israel.
And his judgments with Israel. So there you have it. So we already heard the prophecy of Leah, talking about her son Gad. We heard the prophecy of Jacob, right? Talking to his son. We saw the vision that he had, saying that they would go from the west to the east, to the south, to the north in Jacob's ladder chapter, right? So now let's go to Deuteronomy 33. And let's read from 1 to 5. Let's hear what Moses had to say about this prophecy. About 2 or 3 witnesses, this is going to be of what? Validity. Read that out.
Deuteronomy chapter 33, verse 1. And this is the blessing wherewith Moses, the man of God, blessed the children of Israel before his death. And he said, the Lord came from Sinai and rose up from Seir unto them. He shined forth from Mount Paran, and he came with 10,000 of saints. His right hand had went a fiery law for them. Yea, he loved the people. All his saints are in thy hand. And they sat down at thy feet. Every one shall receive of thy words. Moses commanded us a law, even the inheritance of the congregation of Jacob. And he was the king in Jeshurun, when the heads of the people and the tribes of Israel were gathered together.
So notice it said the heads of the people were gathered together. Now we just read in Deuteronomy 33 and 21 that it says that he will be with the heads of the people. Okay? So where is he at? Right here in the Americas. North, South, and Central Americas. Alright? Jump up to verse 13 and read down to 17. And I have to touch on this before we start going deep so you can have a foundation of what we're going to go into. Read that.
Deuteronomy 33, verse 13. And of Joseph he said, Blessed of the Lord be his land, for the precious things of heaven, for the dew, and for the deep that coucheth beneath.
So I have to bring this out first, because brothers say, oh, they went into Africa, it's lush. There's all kinds of stuff there to eat. No, America was the same way. This was the Garden of Eden over here. The so-called white man called this place the Garden of Eden when he came to South Central and North America. It was lush with everything. They had everything. Diamonds, gold, fruits, vegetables. They had everything. Okay, so that's why I had to say it, because this is also a prophecy of Joseph. Because Joseph, who came out of Joseph? Ephraim and Manasseh. And who does Ephraim represent? The 10 tribes of Israel. Right? Come on.
And for the precious fruits brought forth by the sun, and for the precious things put forth by the moon, and for the chief things of the ancient mountains, and for the precious things of the lasting hills.
Now I could go into that with the ancient mountains, because over in America, South Central America, you have a place over, we're going to get into it, the Peruvians, you ever heard of the Andes Mountains? Okay, the Andes Mountains is one of the highest peaks in the world. The Andes Mountains is like 8,000 feet above sea level. They said you got to have oxygen mask just to get up there.
Oh, man.
Now how are these people building temples on top of these mountains? These are considered ancient mountains. None. All right, come on.
Verse 16. And for the precious things of the earth and fullness thereof, for the good will of him that dwelt in the bush, by the blessing come upon the head.
Let the blessing.
Oh, let the blessing come upon the head of Joseph, and upon the top of the head of him that was separated from his brethren.
All right, so the blessing is going to be on the 10 tribes now. Come on.
His glory is like the firstling of his bullock. For his horns are like the horns of unicorns.
This is not an actual unicorn. Some of y'all say this is a magical unicorn. Nah, this is just symbolism. Okay? Come on.
With them he shall push the people together to the ends of the earth, and they are the 10,000s of Ephraim.
And they are the thousands of Manasseh. Anybody bring their book, Lost Tribes and Promised Lands? Anybody got that book today? I didn't bring it. So in the book of Lost Tribes and Promised Lands, if you have it, it tells you that there was the 10 tribes was dwelling here. It said Reuben. It said Joseph. Now when you hear Joseph, how many tribes is that? Manasseh and Ephraim. Right, that's 3 in itself. And then it said Reuben. So that's 4 tribes right there in the Lost Tribes and Promised Land it's talking about. So they was dwelling in the Americas. Okay? So I wanted, if I had it, I would bring it out, but you guys get the point. Okay? Let's go to 2nd Ezra chapter 13 and 39.
Hey, I touch on 2. When it says unicorn, you look unicorn up, it says rhinoceros.
All it means is horn, man. Yeah, I mean, ain't nothing like that. A unicorn. If you got a brother that's in charge, he's like a unicorn to the rest of the people. That's all it is. Go ahead, bring that up.
It's the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 13, verse 39. And whereas thou sawest that he gathered another peaceable multitude unto him, those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Hosea the king.
Wait a minute. So brothers like to say, see, the 10 tribes, they was never in captivity. Read that again from the top.
Verse 40. Those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners.
They were carried away what?
Carried away prisoners.
Prisoners. They were in captivity too. Brothers, they read stuff and skip right over it, man. Come on.
Prisoners out of their own land in the time of Hosea the king, whom Salmanessar the king of Assyria led away captive, and he carried them over the waters, and so they came into another land. But they took this counsel among themselves, that they would leave the multitude of the heathen and go forth into a further country where never mankind dwelled.
Okay.
That they might keep their statutes, which they had never kept in their own land.
All right, so they went to a farther place, another land. Come on.
And they entered into Euphrates by the narrow passages of the river.
So they entered into the Euphrates. You got to understand that by entering into the Euphrates, they were already at the top of the Euphrates. Okay? So if they were at the top of the Euphrates, where else are you going to go? Down. Because the Euphrates is not even close to the Mediterranean Sea. It's away from it. I got to show you all a map. So if they was at the top, they went down. Come on.
For the Most High then showed signs for them, and he held still the flood till they were passed over. For through that country there was a great way to go, namely of 1.5 years.
Right, namely of 1.5 years, which takes about the average time to get from there to the Americas. Come on.
And the same region is called Asareth.
Or Seraph, okay? So brothers like to say, see, our Seraph is in Europe. It's not Europe. All right? I got a book here. It's going to show you what our Seraph is. Yeah. This book is called The Origins of the American Indians. The Origins of the American Indians. I have proof. Some brothers like say, see, they show some map. They ain't got nothing on it. They could have drew the map. Here's a book, Origins of the American Indians by Lee E. Huddleston. European Concepts, 1492 to 1729 are the years. All right, I want you to read the last paragraph right there. What page is that? Oh, go ahead.
Page 85.
Go ahead.
4th paragraph.
Right.
Neither Torquemada nor Calancha could accept the authenticity of the 10 lost tribes theory. Yet the anonymous author of ISRAELITES of 1711 accepted the story of Esdras,
which is in the Bible, which we're reading now. Come on.
to the extent of calling America Arsareth.
Calling America what?
Arsareth.
Arsareth. So this is where the 10 tribes went. America, which is called Arsareth. Come on.
Throughout his manuscript, he traced the tribes of Arsareth through the Tartary and settled them in Tartary, and settled them in America, north of the Isthmus of.
Isthmus is like a strait or going through islands.
Tehunapec. Carthaginians and possibly Egyptians produced the civilizations of Guatemala.
Guatemala, come on.
He also hinted that Spaniards may have settled in South America.
All right, you can stop right there. So it's telling you that America, the point is, America is Arsareth. Okay. Whether they went through Tartary or not, the scriptures tell you that they went through the Euphrates. Yeah, I'm done with that. So there it is there. I mean, the so-called white man, again, exposes itself by saying what? That Arsareth was America. We're bringing proof out today.
So just in case brothers didn't know,
Jesse?
It was in the scripts. There it is in writing.
Right, that's right. It's in writing. So we're going to show it to you. All right? So the next thing we'll hear from brothers is, oh, that's not real. That's not the truth. Brothers, it's crazy. Here we got these books. Look on Amazon and see how much these books are. Try to find, they may not even be on Amazon. Some of these books.
Right here. This is the time.
Yeah. Yeah, they may not even be on Amazon. You might pull it up and then say, not in print anymore.
Christopher Columbus knew. He knew.
Yeah, Christopher Columbus knew. All of them knew.
Right.
Right? So, you know, we got to show you this because brothers don't believe, man. And if you can't believe it, you can't get it, then hey, that's the way it goes. All right, go back to 2nd Esdras. And let's read 14. Did you finish all 13? Did you read all the way down to 50?
All the way to 45.
Read down to 50.
All right. 2nd Esdras chapter 13, verse 46. Then dwelt they there until the latter time.
The what?
The latter time.
Now what did Jacob say? In the latter times, in the end times, these are the things that are going to befall you. Come on.
And now, when they shall begin to come.
When they wake up, come on.
The highest shall stay the springs of the stream again, that they might go through. Therefore sawest thou the multitude with peace. But those that be left behind of thy people are they that are found within my borders. Now when he destroyed the multitude of the nations that are gathered together, he shall defend his people that remain.
Listen closely to that verse alone. This is a future prophecy.
That's
Read that again.
And now when he destroyeth the multitude of the nations.
Look around. Look at the world today. You got America, Europe, all these nations, China, Japan, Russia, North Korea, South Korea, right? Africa, they all joining together. All these nations coming together. This right before our face.
Yeah,
it's like he's telling us, right?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
He shall defend his people that remain, and then...
So he said he shall defend his people that shall remain. What does the remain part mean? Those that are sealed with the law, statutes, and commandments, that believe in the Son, HAMASHAYACH YAHAWASHI. Not everybody. The ones that remain are the ones who believe. Come on.
And then shall he show them great wonders.
Right. Why would he show somebody that don't believe great wonders? Well, take them out. Let's go. Just to further the understanding of this prophecy that many brothers and sisters can't get, let's go to the next chapter. 14. Yeah, let's go to 14 and go to verse 11. 2nd Esdras chapter 14, verse 11.
2nd Esdras chapter 14, verse 11. For the world is divided into 12 parts, and the 10 parts of it are gone already, and half of the 10th part. So
what does this mean? Anybody taking volunteers? Anybody know what this means? This is a riddle. Being in the truth is not really a riddle.
It sound almost like that. Like 2/3 of Israel being taken out.
They're talking about Israel.
Talking about Israel. Read that again.
For the world, meaning the Israelites, is divided into 12 parts.
Right. So the world has been divided into 12 parts, meaning the Israelites are scattered. Okay? Come on.
And the 10 parts of it are gone already.
It said the 10 parts are gone already.
Northern Kingdom.
Northern Kingdom, they were gone already. Brothers missed that whole part, man. You know what I mean? They're already gone. They were gone in 3000 BC. They're already gone. All right? Come on.
And half of the 10th part.
What's half of the 10th part? What's the half of the 10th part? Who traveled with the Israelites wherever they went? What tribe?
Levi and Benjamin.
Levi, predominantly Levi. The priests had to always go with Israel. Okay? So when you look at this, let's find a precept for this. Let's go to 1 Ezra 1 and 5. Just to back up what the 10th part is, what the half part is. 1 Ezra 1 and 5. Read that for me. In the Apocrypha.
1 Ezra chapter 1. Chapter 1, verse 5. According as David, the king of Israel, prescribed, and according to the magnificence
You said it right.
Yeah, magnificence of Solomon his son, and standing in the temple according to the several dignity of the families of you, the Levites, who minister in the presence of your brethren, the children of Israel.
That's it. So he's telling you that the Levites minister in the presence of who? The children of Israel. That is that half part. The Levites always are divided within the 12 tribes. That's the half part. Wherever the Israelites go, the Levites are always there. They're always together. The origins of the American Indians. Go to page 131 there.
Oh, I flipped it to the right page.
Okay. Read the third paragraph. Did I highlight it?
Right
Yeah, read that.
Page 131 of Origins of the American Indians. According to Manasseh's version of the lost 10 tribes of the lost tribes theory, the Israelites got to the New World first.
They got to the New World first. What's the New World? The Americas. Come on.
But the late coming Gentiles drove them into the mountains.
Drove them into the mountains. So you wonder why our people was dwelling in mountains? It's because the Gentiles drove them there. Okay? When you saw that movie, what's the name of that movie that Mel Gibson produced? Apocalypto.
I got something that you didn't highlight right here.
So when those so-called Europeans, when those Europeans showed up on the scene, the Gentiles, what did they do? They fled back to the mountains. So you wonder why our people was dwelling in mountains? It's because the Gentiles drove them there. It's at the end of the movie. They went there to hide because they knew it was the end of their world. What you got?
I got it right here. Next, he proceeded with Ezra's story and the supporting similarities between the Indians and the Jews. He concluded with the reasons which compelled him to believe that the discovery of the lost tribes in America signalized that the day of redemption for Israel was near.
It's near. So our time is near, like right at the door. All right, we're going to go into another book. It's called The Mound Builders. Before they were called the Native Americans.
Because that was in the latter days, so that was a sign.
Latter days, right. This is a book called The Mound Builders. Okay? The Mound Builders is with the latest scientific evidence. Edgar Cayce, C-A-Y-C-E-S. I put it in post-productions. Forgotten Record of Ancient America by Gregory L. Little, ed.d. All right, go to page 79. And go to the highlighted version. Yeah, read that.
Page 79. According to...
Tell them what paragraph you're on.
Fourth paragraph.
Okay.
According to Casey, in about 3000 BC, a portion of the lost tribes came to the southernmost portion of America by boats.
By boats. This is how they got here. Here's another scholar confirming that the 10 tribes of Israel came here by boats. Now, brothers say, well, they didn't come on ships.
This is the word of the Lord of hosts. I took you from the pastures and from following the sheep to be prince over my people Israel. I have been with you wherever you have gone and have destroyed all the enemies in your path. I will make you a great name among the great ones of the earth. I will assign a place for my people in Israel. There I will plant them, and they shall dwell in their own land.